Have you ever looked at two people of the same age, say 75, and wondered why they seem to be living in two entirely different worlds? Imagine two men, Arthur and John, who live next door to each other in a quiet suburban neighborhood in Ohio. Both are retired engineers, both have loving families, and both have seen the same number of summers. Yet their daily lives could not be more different. Arthur wakes with the sun, spends an hour in his garden, and then takes his golden retriever for a long walk through the park. He's learning Italian on an app for a trip he's planning, and 3 times a week he volunteers at the local library, helping kids with their homework. His laughter is frequent, his handshake is firm, and his eyes sparkle with a sense of purpose. John, on the other hand, finds his world has shrunk to the 4 walls of his living room. His mornings are a slow, painful negotiation with stiff joints. The television is his primary companion, and the thought of leaving the house for anything beyond a necessary doctor's appointment fills him with a quiet dread. He loves his family dearly, but he feels like a burden, unable to keep up with the grandkids or contribute in the ways he once did. What separates Arthur from John? It isn't luck, and it isn't genetics. It's something far more profound and, encouragingly, far more attainable. Research and observation suggest that only a tiny fraction of seniors, perhaps as few as 3%, manage to maintain a collection of specific abilities that define true vitality after the age of 70. Most people expect to slow down, to accept limitations as an inevitable part of aging. But this exceptional few continue to thrive, experiencing a level of strength, mental clarity, and daily joy that others believe is reserved for the young. They aren't superhuman, they are simply masters of habits that preserve their independence and fuel their spirit. In this deep dive, we are going to pull back the curtain on the 6 remarkable abilities that set this vibrant 3% apart. From the raw physical power to rise from the floor unassisted, to the emotional resilience needed to forge new, meaningful relationships, each of these capacities is a testament to a life lived with intention. If you have ever wondered what the secret is to not just growing old, but growing whole, you are in the right place. Stay with us, because by the end of this journey, you will not only understand these uncommon strengths, but also discover the practical, actionable steps you can take to cultivate them in your own life, starting today. The first, and perhaps most fundamental, sign of this exceptional vitality is a skill that sounds deceptively simple: the ability to get up from the floor without help. For a majority of adults over 70, the very idea of sitting on the floor, let alone rising from it gracefully, seems like a risky venture best left to their grandchildren. Yet for that elite 3%, lowering themselves to the carpet to play with a pet or a great-grandchild, and then standing back up without grabbing for a chair or a helping hand, is a quiet display of profound physical independence. This single movement is a symphony of bodily function, a full-body diagnostic test that reveals more about a person's health than a dozen routine checkups. This action requires an intricate combination of flexibility in the hips, knees, and ankles, a strong and stable core to control the torso, significant power in the leg muscles, and a well-honed sense of balance and proprioception, the body's innate awareness of its position in space. As we age, these faculties tend to diminish, especially in a modern American lifestyle characterized by long hours of sitting and a general avoidance of activities that challenge our physical limits. But the senior who can still perform this movement with confidence has meticulously maintained not just their muscular strength, but also the kind of neurological connection to their body that is the first line of defense against falls, the very incidents that can catastrophically derail an independent life and often lead to hospital stays and a rapid decline in health. Consider Barbara, an 81-year-old from California who finds immense joy in getting down on the living room rug to build elaborate Lego castles with her great-grandsons. While her friends might politely decline, citing bad knees or a fear of being stuck, Barbara's daily routine of gentle stretching and body weight exercises has kept her limber and strong. Her physician has told her that this one ability, more than any cholesterol reading or blood pressure number, is the clearest indicator of her functional longevity. It means she can recover from a minor stumble, pick up something she's dropped, or simply engage with the world at a different level without assistance. It is the physical manifestation of freedom. Have you ever thought about how such a simple action connects to such a profound sense of independence? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. Getting up from the floor is a badge of honor, a silent declaration that your body is still a reliable partner in the adventure of life, regardless of the date on your driver's license. Experts in geriatrics and physical therapy suggest that anyone who finds this movement challenging should not despair, but rather see it as a goal to work towards. By practicing modified versions, perhaps using a sturdy chair for support or a friend's arm initially, one can gradually rebuild the necessary strength and flexibility. The journey toward this goal is as important as the destination, as every small improvement enhances confidence and protects against future injury. In a world that is increasingly digital, where smartphones have become our windows to the world, video calls are family gatherings, and online portals are banks, a stark divide has emerged. Very few seniors feel truly at ease navigating the ever-shifting landscape of modern technology without a younger, more tech-savvy guide looking over their shoulder. However, within that resilient 3%, we find older adults who don't just use these tools, they embrace them with a spirit of curiosity, independence, and genuine adventure. Learning to text with emojis, joining a chaotic family video chat, or securely managing finances online are not trivial accomplishments after 70. They represent a victory over intimidation and a commitment to lifelong learning. These skills demand patience, a courageous willingness to make mistakes, and the humility to ask for help when a new update or app seems utterly incomprehensible. What truly distinguishes the tech-savvy few is not some innate technical aptitude, but a growth mindset, the powerful belief that you are never too old to learn something new. It's an attitude that refuses to let the world move on without them. Take George, a 77-year-old retired mechanic from a small town in Pennsylvania, who once felt a sting of irrelevance every time his children discussed apps and social media. Instead of resigning himself to being left behind, George took a bold step. He enrolled in a basic computer skills class offered at his local public library. His journey was filled with moments of frustration, of wanting to give up. But with patient practice and persistence, he triumphed. Today, George is proficient in email, pays his bills online with confidence, and has even become the go-to tech support for his friends at the senior center. The pride in his voice when he talks about video calling his granddaughter at her college dorm across the country is palpable. But even more significant is the renewed sense of connection and self-reliance it has brought him. For so many, technology can feel like an alien language, overwhelming and isolating. But for those who maintain an open mind and persevere, it becomes a key to a new kind of freedom. If you found this insight valuable and are still with us on this journey, please let us know by commenting with the number 2 below. Your engagement helps us understand what resonates with you and encourages us to keep creating content that inspires and informs. The magic lies in not allowing frustration to win. Every time you solve a small tech problem on your own, whether it's figuring out how to attach a photo to an email or successfully ordering groceries online, you are reinforcing the powerful belief that growth is possible at any age. Experts advise starting small. Choose one skill you want to learn, practice it regularly, and don't be afraid to seek help. Local libraries, community centers, and even patient grandchildren can be wonderful teachers for those willing to learn. Embracing technology isn't just about convenience, it's about staying relevant, safe, and deeply connected in the 21st century. It is a well-documented and often painful truth that as the years advance, our social circles can begin to contract. Friends move away, pass on, or simply drift apart due to declining health, leaving many older adults facing a creeping sense of isolation. But among that top 3% of seniors, the act of maintaining strong, deep, and meaningful friendships is not a passive hope, but an active, daily reality. This rare and beautiful ability is about far more than just being social. It is a cornerstone of emotional health, a powerful buffer against life's hardships, and the very essence of a fulfilling existence. Deep friendships are not built overnight. They are cultivated over years, sometimes decades, and they require a commitment that goes beyond a weekly coffee date or a quick phone call. They involve showing up when life gets tough, offering a compassionate, non-judgmental ear, and genuinely celebrating each other's joys without a hint of envy. For older adults, these bonds transcend shared memories. They become vital lifelines. They are the friends who will drive you to a doctor's appointment, bring over a pot of soup when you're sick, and sit with you in comfortable silence after the loss of a loved one. Consider Nancy, an 83-year-old widow from Chicago, who still meets with the same group of women she's known since they were all teenagers in high school. They call themselves the Bridge Club, though they haven't played a hand of bridge in years. They share meals, exchange book recommendations, and support one another through every trial and triumph. Nancy credits these connections with keeping her spirits high, her mind sharp, and her days filled with meaning, especially after outliving her beloved husband. For her, friendship isn't a luxury. It is as essential to her health as medicine or exercise. Nurturing these relationships requires consistent effort. It means making the call even when you don't feel like talking, sending a birthday card to show you care, or extending an invitation for a simple walk, even when your own energy is low. The rare senior who continues to invest in their friendships reaps extraordinary benefits, including demonstrably lower rates of stress and depression, better cognitive function, and a profound sense of belonging that no amount of money can buy. Have you ever reconnected with an old friend and felt an instant boost? Share your story in the comments. We could all use a reminder of the power of connection. Experts in social psychology emphasize that skills like active listening and reaching out can be developed at any age. Even if your social circle has dwindled, it is never too late to rekindle an old bond or cultivate a new one through a hobby or volunteer group. For the healthiest and happiest seniors, deep friendship is not a pastime. It is a way of life that pays emotional dividends every single day. One of the most visible and telling indicators of exceptional health in one's 70s and beyond is the capacity to walk a significant distance without needing to stop, sit down, or gasp for breath. For many older adults, a simple stroll around the block can feel like a monumental effort. But for that remarkable 3%, walking 2 miles at a steady, comfortable pace remains a regular part of their lives. This isn't about setting speed records or competing in a race. It is a quiet testament to enduring stamina, robust cardiovascular health, strong joints, and the kind of quiet confidence that comes from being able to move freely and independently through the world. This seemingly simple act is a holistic health practice, It brings together the immense benefits of cardiovascular fitness, which keeps the heart and lungs strong, with the muscle toning and bone strengthening effects of a weight-bearing exercise. Seniors who can comfortably walk 2 miles are significantly less likely to develop chronic conditions like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and osteoporosis. Just as importantly, this ability provides an unparalleled sense of purpose and freedom. It is the liberty to run your own errands, visit a friend who lives a few blocks away, or simply enjoy the beauty of a local park on your own terms without relying on anyone else. Think about Frank, an 80-year-old from Vermont who begins every single morning, rain or shine, with a long, brisk walk through a nearby nature preserve. He credits this unwavering habit with keeping his weight stable, his mood elevated, and his doctor consistently impressed at his annual checkups. Frank has navigated his share of age-related aches and pains, but by building his stamina slowly over the years and sticking religiously to his routine, he has maintained a level of mobility and independence that many of his peers have lost to canes and walkers. The truth is, maintaining this level of physical activity demands an ongoing commitment. It's about making a conscious choice to embrace movement even on days when you feel tired or the weather is less than ideal. It requires listening to your body's need for rest, but also gently challenging it to do a little more whenever possible. For many seniors like Frank, walking is not just a form of exercise. It's a moving meditation, a daily ritual that keeps them connected to the world, to nature, and to themselves. If you are finding these insights valuable and are still with us on this journey, show your support by commenting with the number 4 below. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications. Your support is what allows us to continue creating content designed to empower and inspire you. For many, the idea of picking up a brand new skill or a complex hobby after the age of 70 can sound incredibly daunting, if not utterly impossible. The well-worn phrase, "you can't teach an old dog new tricks," echoes in the back of their minds. Yet, for the top 3% of seniors, the fire of curiosity and the willingness to step boldly outside their comfort zones remain brightly lit. Whether it is learning to play a musical instrument, tackling a new language, or diving into the world of watercolor painting or organic gardening, these exceptional older adults are living proof that age is never a barrier to personal growth. This pursuit of new knowledge is a powerful exercise for the mind. Learning something new demands courage, patience, and a healthy dose of humility. It often means embracing the awkwardness of being a beginner again, of making mistakes, and sometimes feeling a bit silly in the process. But those who welcome this challenge are rewarded tenfold. They keep their minds sharp and agile, their days filled with excitement, and their spirits undeniably young. The senior who continues to develop new skills reports a renewed sense of purpose and a deep intrinsic joy that comes from witnessing their own progress. This is the very essence of neuroplasticity in action, the brain's incredible ability to forge new neural pathways at any stage of life. Let's talk about Carol, a 76-year-old retired nurse from Texas who had always harbored a secret desire to paint. Feeling a mix of nervousness and excitement, she signed up for a watercolor class at her local community center, finding herself surrounded by students half her age. Initially, she was intimidated, worried she wouldn't be able to keep up. But she soon found herself completely absorbed, eagerly looking forward to each session. Not only did her artistic skills blossom, but she also formed new friendships, boosted her self-confidence, and discovered a fresh, compelling reason to get out of the house each week. She began to see the world differently, noticing the subtle shades of a sunset or the intricate patterns on a leaf. Experts in cognitive aging emphasize that the process of learning is just as crucial as the outcome. The act of grappling with new information, solving problems, and practicing a new physical or mental task exercises different parts of the brain, encourages social interaction, and provides a healthy, positive structure to the day. Whether you are exploring a new style of cooking, trying your hand at digital photography, or joining a local book club that challenges your perspectives, the benefits are immeasurable. The most successful and fulfilled seniors are those who never lose their sense of wonder and who are always willing to take that first, sometimes shaky, step into the unknown. It's a powerful reminder that every skill learned is another tool for happiness, independence, and mental vitality. Of all the habits and abilities that distinguish the rarest 3% of older adults, there is one that stands out as perhaps the most powerful and transformative: the regular practice of giving back to others through volunteering and community service. After retirement, as the structure and purpose of a career fade, it can be easy to turn inward, to focus on one's own needs and comforts. But the most vibrant seniors are those who actively look outward, who find profound meaning in helping others. Whether it's through a church food pantry, a local animal shelter, or a neighborhood improvement group, these individuals report a greater sense of purpose, higher levels of happiness, and even measurably better physical health. Volunteering is not simply a way to fill empty hours on a calendar. It is a potent antidote to irrelevance and loneliness. It is a way to stay engaged, to feel valued, and to remain connected to something much larger than oneself. The most resilient seniors discover that the act of giving back elevates their mood, provides a sense of perspective, and keeps them mentally and physically active. Even seemingly simple acts like reading to children at the public library, delivering meals to a homebound neighbor, or knitting blankets for a local hospital create positive ripple effects that touch countless lives, most notably their own. What cause or community group is close to your heart? Sharing your passion in the comments could inspire someone else to get involved. Consider Michael, an 82-year-old widower who felt adrift after his wife passed away. On a whim, he started volunteering at a local elementary school, a place his late wife, a teacher, had loved. He became the classroom's Grandpa Michael, helping young children sound out difficult words, tying an endless number of tiny shoelaces, and offering a comforting presence. Michael often says that he receives far more than he gives. He feels needed, appreciated, and an integral part of his community's future. For him, volunteering is not a chore. It is a source of boundless energy and hope. A wealth of scientific studies confirms his experience, showing that seniors who volunteer regularly have lower rates of depression, stronger immune systems, and a deeper sense of life satisfaction. Finding an opportunity that aligns with your personal interests is key, whether it's gardening, mentoring, or advocating for a cause you believe in. No effort is too small, because the true magic lies in the act of giving itself. If you've stayed with us to this point, please let us know by commenting with the number 6 below. We deeply appreciate you investing your time with us. As we bring our exploration to a close, take a quiet moment to reflect on these 6 remarkable abilities that define the lives of the most vital 3% of seniors. From the physical prowess to rise from the ground, to the spiritual fulfillment of giving back, each one is a pillar supporting a life of independence, connection, and joy. Which of these stood out to you the most? Is there one that resonates with a strength you already possess, or perhaps one you feel inspired to cultivate in your own life? Remember, the message here is not one of pressure, but of possibility. It is never too late to set a new goal, to learn a new skill, or to take a single step toward a stronger, more engaged, and more fulfilled future. These abilities are not disparate traits. They are interconnected facets of a singular, powerful mindset, a deep-seated commitment to lifelong growth. The physical strength to walk 2 miles makes it easier to volunteer. The mental agility gained from learning a new technology helps you maintain friendships across distances. They all feed into one another, creating a virtuous cycle of vitality. Being in that top 3% isn't about being a genetic marvel or a lucky exception. It is about the cumulative power of small, conscious choices made day after day, year after year. Thank you for joining us on this journey today. Your time and attention are gifts we do not take for granted. We would be honored to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one key insight you learned today and how you might apply it to your own life. Your thoughts, stories, and reflections are immensely important to us and to this entire community. Reading your comments provides us with incredible motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please show your support by giving it a like, subscribing to our channel, and sharing it with someone who might benefit. Your support is what enables us to continue creating meaningful content designed to inform and inspire. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.